1051.
We can't let this love and hip hop ruin us. The mother couples out here frontin' ain't true as us.
And when we pop on them, they gonna be suing us.
Send them to the voicemail, they can't get through to us.
Ain't nothing like black love. Ain't nothing like black love.
Back on my bullshit. Mac with the full clip. Might have to just lose it. I'm quick to use it. Who you at?
Shout out EmEz and tune in to the sit down.
Guys are doing easy. That's what I'm doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your main man, EmEz, the orator, ain't none greater, and across from me this afternoon, rapper, lyricist, and I'm gonna call it now, father and husband of the year, Papoose in the building.
What's up, my brother?
How's everything, bro?
Oh man, I'm happy to be here, man.
I'm happy to see you, and I'm just so I get this clear, I'm going to steer clear of what your lady is going through at the moment. I just want to say, she bodied her gun. Remy bodied her. I'm not going to involve you. I'm just like shout to Remy. Now back to Papoose. No Talk to me about this Black Love movement you got.
Yes, man. The Black Love movement is in full gear, man, and I'm just happy to see how the people receiving it, and I'm glad that other husbands and fathers are influenced. You know, sometimes I be driving through the toll, and I might get a toll booth guy that's like, "Yo, man, you fucking up my house, man.
You don't know the guy.
My wife keep telling me I need to be more like you." You know what I'm saying? Then I might get a female in the toll booth, and she be like, "Yo, oh, thank you so much for it." You know what I mean? So it's a wonderful thing.
I don't know who's ruining my house more. You or DJ Envy with this podcast. Every other day, I'm going, yo, did you hear what Envy said? Why you not more like Envy? You with him every day. Why you?
Yeah, shout out to Envy.
And then the next one, Papoose and Remy are so in love. You wouldn't have waited for me. I'm like, whatever, man.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Papoose and Remy showing these couples how to do it. Black Love Movement's amazing.
Definitely, thank you, my
Salute
brother.
to you for that. Now, talk to me about Back on My Bullshit.
Yeah, I got the new single, Back on My Bullshit, you know, featuring Fat Joe and Jacquay. It's over 1 million streams on Spotify. The video is doing amazing, over like 4 million views. So it's moving, you know. Shout out to Empire, and we independent.
Now you got a lot going on now with now the kids coming up and you being the manager. How's that? The manager hat feel?
Yeah, it feels great, man. Being in the game for so long, you know, and you know, making certain mistakes yourself, you kind of learn, you know, to be better at it, and you learn the business. So I learned so much about the business just being in the game, and I got a lot to offer.
So, what are some of the pitfalls you fell into that you don't want to see your kids go through?
Oh man, you know, make sure you're in a position to profit off of your music outside of others. You know, sometimes we sign to these labels and we dump everything in their lap. Get out there, be productive. You know, learn to pick up that book of business and learn all that. That's things I didn't do early. You know, pick up the book of business, learn the game, learn how the business actually works. Don't just be an artist.
Yeah.
And you know, those are the advice I give to my kids.
Seeing as you're a family man, I work with the Breakfast Club every morning, and when Fat Joe and Remy came, she told a story about how you make sure certain pictures are up in your house, and that the graduating picture and the pictures of a mom and a dad were something that you always remembered.
Yeah.
That same day I went home and told my lady, make sure we put pictures of ourselves, because I want my son to always have that same embedded thing. So I just want to thank you, because that's also, like I said, you mess up my home, but you help me at the same time. I appreciate you. You a double edge, but I appreciate you.
That's real important. Those are things we don't pay attention to. But growing up, I actually had the privilege of seeing, I always remember that, seeing marriage pictures from the wedding from my moms and my pops. And that made me as a kid say, I want to get married one day. You know what I'm saying? A picture of a Mike Tyson or a Michael Jordan. People who was doing positive things, Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
And it inspires you as a kid to want to grow up and do great things.
I never thought about it like that until she said it. And I remember I could go to all my uncles' houses and aunts, and I remember seeing that one wedding picture when they're standing there, or a graduation picture, and you don't really think about it at the moment, but that could be something that triggers you to want to, like you said, want to get married or go to school and things like that nature.
And you learn the value of you know, of a woman early. You know, you have a mother, and you see a wedding that took place before you were even born, and you see your mom so happy, you see your father. So, you know, it inspires you to do great things.
Now, would you say you're a cool dad or a strict dad?
I'm not strict. My wife is strict.
Yes.
I'm not strict. I mean, I can be strict, but the way my wife moves, there's no need for me. You know what I'm saying? I can just play my part and step in, you know what I mean, when need be. So I really don't have to be like that. But I'm I'm very stern when it comes down to school and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But I try to give them room to be them.
What's most important to you about your kids?
Oh man, education, man. That's one of the most important things I try to get from them. You know, finish school. Cause that's something, man. When I was young, I was like, man, F school.
Yeah,
I don't
forget
need
all
that.
that.
I'm going over here, hustle. I'm going over there to do that. You know what I mean? It was a time in my life where I was a knucklehead. And I don't want them to go through that knucklehead phase because not all of us
Get
come
out
of that.
Yeah,
a lot of my
you ain't
friends,
lying.
they didn't survive that knucklehead era. So, you know, I don't want them to ever get caught up in that and be productive in school. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what are some of the things you're doing to try to keep your son or Remy's son out of those pitfalls, like in the corners on the streets and everything like that?
Yeah, I'm trying my best. You know what I'm saying? It's really not easy as a parent. We up against a lot. You know, you got to figure your child goes to school and you don't see him through most of the day. And, you know, you're out working at times. So the streets or the outside environment, the outside world, may I say, actually spends more time with your child than you, whether you realize that or not, because they're in school every day. And when you're at work, you might not be home at times. So you got to take that time that y'all have together and try to make sure you install the right things in them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy. I can't sit up here and say it's easy, but I face the fight head on, and I try to keep them jewels in his head and stay away from the negativity. But he's a very smart kid. So
when we gonna get that Meet the Mackies TV show? Because I know it's coming. They haven't told me, but I feel it.
Yeah, I mean, the business is in motion. We working on it. You know what I mean? It's definitely a promising thing. So we working it out right now. It's gonna be.
It's a beautiful thing to see you and your family, son. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in the process of building my family now, my lady and my son, and it's refreshing to see a guy aging gracefully.
No
like
doubt,
you're
doubt.
making it cool to be a dad. Like I always tell my friends, like when I was growing up, dad wasn't the cool thing to be. You had to be out here smashing these girls, running around these streets. That was the cool thing to be. Now you watch people like you, T.I., DJ Envy. It's making it cool to be a dad and do things with your family, and it's refreshing to see, because that's something I've always wanted, because I don't come from that, so I want to make sure mine had that, and I've always wanted to salute you for that.
Thank you, man. I just think it's all about growing up. You know what I'm saying? When you've been through certain things in your life and you've been there, done that, it comes a time when as you start to mature, you look at life different. You know what I'm saying?
Has this changed the way you do music?
Yeah, it made me better.
Okay, all right. I mean, you was good, son. Don't do that. Listen, I remember listening to Pap for years, dog. Like, this was one of my favorite rappers back in the day, listening to the lyrical assault, all that. Papoose was the man. How you feel about the New York rap scene out here?
It's cool, man. It's cool. I'm happy to see New York artists starting to get a shot. You know, I like what my wife and Joe did. They opened a lot of doors and showed that we can come out of here, not compromise our sound, and still impact the globe, still get a platinum plaque, still win numerous awards, be nominated for a Grammy without selling out and compromising our sound, because we do have a sound.
Now, you're someone that's very of the culture and on the times. How do you feel about what's going on in the world socially with the president and things of that nature?
Oh, it's a circus, man. It's a circus. I'm still disappointed that they even elected a guy like that. I'm not really surprised, but I'm very disappointed, and I just think that we gotta, within ourselves, you know what I'm saying, make sure we focus and we take advantage of what we have in our communities, because this guy don't give a fuck about us, man.
Not even a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's a circus, a Twitter fight. It's ridiculous, man. What can I say?
Now, Papoose, I know you got to run. I'm not going to keep you and jam you up too long. Any last thing you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, I want to tell the audience, man, thanks for the support. Go pick up that Back on My Bullshit, Papoose featuring Fat Joe and Jacquay on iTunes, Spotify right now. Look out for Chanel 9, her new record. Blueface is coming real soon to pick up that Plateau Plomo album. My wife and Fat Joe.
Brooklyn, be proud of this man, son.
Brooklyn, we here, baby.
Papoose, so sit down. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, for real, man.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out EmEz and tune in to the sit down.
Boy, you should have known by now. Easy does, easy does, easy does.
Power 105.1.